When I was a student, I played every day in a video game network called Final Fantasy XI. And I was very attached to my avatar. I have lots of memories. I'm a little ashamed to admit it, but the people I played with, well, I fell very much in love with another avatar, but I was rejected. When I was playing every day, I identified a lot with my avatar's character, and I even wrote a blog about it. It was like a diary. I have to admit that the game played an important role in my life for a long time. Now, my professional life means that I can't get involved to such an extent. I don't get as involved as before when I play in WoW.
That bag is full. I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
It's very easy to be touched. It just happened to be the very first thing that made me cry. Was not a film, was not a novel, because my parents were so scared that if I read novel, I get addicted to it, so I won't study. So they don't let me read any fictions. My first access to a strong emotional medium was actually in games, because they don't know games. They just let me play whatever I want. For Cloud, this is the first game I've made. This is the first game where I start to get real players who play the game sending email to us and telling us how they feel about the game. Some people said that, we should tell the team that everybody involved are beautiful people. And that's also very new, because nobody ever told me I'm a beautiful person in my life. So this is kind of very first time, like, oh, wow. What does that mean? So it must be the game. And what happened in that game that started to make such a strong emotional reactions. So the character is a kid in the hospital. When I was young, I spent a lot of time in the hospital. There's a lot of desire for freedom as a young kid, and there's a lot of desire for getting better when you're sick.
As a spectator, or when playing a part, the gamer can now manipulate everything at the same time as observing him or herself. The player incarnates an external body and models themselves in a virtual mirror, leaving only a trace of their real self.
In Tokyo, Vanessa continues her study. she is comparing the cultural practices of one continent to another. In Japan, as in Europe, the average player is over 30 years old. The gaming community is not just made up of teenagers. Nowadays, games exist for all ages, for all ambitions, for all occupations, and for all cravings. Vanessa has consulted recent studies that show that video gamers spend 12 hours a week on their hobby. Even in France, this cultural revolution has completely transformed habits that we thought to be timeless.
We log into video games in the same way that other people start watching the 8:50 film on the television. We don't do that. We prefer to connect and play with our friends and to discuss our day with them.
We're part of a guild of mature players who like to share with each other. This is what led us to these gatherings. I met my boyfriend, who I now live with in this guild, and we're not the only ones. I think this is a great way of meeting people.
C'est assez exceptionnel, je trouve, comme rencontre.
The majority of us are couples who have either met in the game or who have discovered the game together. We also have friends here from real life that we've introduced to the game, or friendships that have been formed during the game.
Do you meet regularly in real life with people from this guild?
Yes, we call each other to organize getting together. We meet up, we go out for dinner or on vacation. For me, there is no difference between the people I've met in the game and my friends whom I've known since college.
Et mes amis que j'ai rencontrés par exemple par le biais de la fac.
You have to get that one too. No, there, that's it. We can advance.
I'm regenning. Jan, can you give me a collar?
It's not very powerful.
It's okay, it's still better than nothing.
What an idiot. Excuse me. Sorry.
No worries.
I messed it up.
In many game networks, people need to join forces to succeed, to cooperate with other players. Groups are set up and gamers commit to meeting in certain places at certain times. If people miss those rendezvous, then they can be removed from the groups. An online society exists. It keeps people connected, and sometimes the only friendships that people are able to maintain are those that are formed with their online friends. In fact, a very real social life exists online in the game world. It often also exists outside of the game, on the internet. I can spend an evening online with friends in the game, and everything will go well. The next day, I will tell people what happened. For example, I'll explain on a website what happened the night before. I use screenshots, photographs, or videos. It's true that we're now living in a techno-cultural world where we exchange information through the digital media and where we're able to relay information using many different means of communication, and where gamers play using their communication skills, and where they express themselves both inside and outside the game. It's a completely different way of existing and of entertaining ourselves.